Libraries and community spaces throughout Allegheny County can now host a pro America, child centered family event called Patriotic Story Hour. Patriotic Story Hour is the brainchild of Erin Koper, who joins me today for a conversation. Conversations with Bob and Sherry is where the extrovert artist meets the introvert engineer. It's where analysis intersects experience. Join us as we explore news and culture to better understand what's true and important. Erin, you're with the Allegheny County Council of Republican Women, is that correct?
Yes, I am the president.
Politics often is people talking, giving speeches, complaining, but I see Erin helping people in East Palestine, Ohio, when they had the train derailment. And most recently, I saw you doing a Patriot Story Time at a library.
Yep.
And I thought, what a great idea. It never occurred to me. I always hear people complaining about certain other story times.
It's actually called Patriotic Story Time. And I just came up with the idea actually on our second trip to East Palestine. You know, you're always thinking, what are we going to do next? And that was still early on in 2023. And my biggest focus for 2023 is to recruit. I was looking for ways to, connect to women, and I was thinking kids, so I thought, through my own trial and error, trying to get my own friends who have small kids to come to my meetings, and they'd always say, oh, I have soccer practice, I have this, lacrosse. And I thought, how can I incorporate something that they can bring the kids to? And then the timeliness of the idea also came into play because the left is known for having, in national media, for having their story hours in libraries. So I'm like, well, what can I do to recruit women, have them have a nice event that they can bring their kids to, and something that's for all Americans, no matter what party you belong to. If you're at a public library, you are welcome to come to a patriotic story hour that is pro-USA and patriotism.
I know that you personally know Scott Pressler, and this just reminds me of him. I was on Twitter in the early days, and I saw Scott get his start. People were arguing politics over the poor condition in a lot of cities, particularly Baltimore was under attack for horrid living conditions. And Scott, being a Republican and a gay man, he said, I'm going to go there and we're going to clean up garbage. And I thought it was like a stunt at first, but when he went, there seemed to be a lot of people show up, and they had this huge mountain of trash bags when they were finished. And then he replicated that around, and now I know he's very active, registration drives and things like that. Did he inspire you, or are you guys just two kind of cut from the same cloth?
Well, that's a huge honor to even consider that, being that. But yeah, I mean, I'm a good friend of his, and we talk very often, weekly, actually, and we are on the same page, and we are on a mission to grow the Republican Party, especially here in Pennsylvania. Southwest Pennsylvania, where we are from, is a huge focus, and we have to grow the party, and we have to think outside the box on creative ways to get people engaged. I have a sales background, so all of my sales, accomplishments have come into play in my political career. So you just have to think, how can we make it fun for people and also be actionable, and how we can make a positive influence in our communities.
I saw on your Facebook post there were other activities. It wasn't just the story time. Can you tell us some of the other activities and things you had?
Absolutely. Actually, I have one.
Okay.
So we had two crafts this time. Now keep in mind, this was our first Patriotic Story Hour, so it was a trial and error. It went wonderful, and working with kids, there's one thing, and a lot of people will probably agree with me, but it was the first time I ever did a children's event, but it's very fluid. You never know how it's going to go. So the trick is to keep moving and keep it at a pace, and keep the kids engaged and busy. So we have this craft It's the legend of the bald eagle, and it's foam. And they just placed it together and created their bald eagle. Some of them named their eagle. And then it's like a cute little ornament with a string. They can hang this on the refrigerator at home or in the kids' bedroom and just have it. And it was something for them to do and a keepsake. And they also did a Father's Day card, because the timeliness of this event is the weekend before Father's Day, and we want to, acknowledge our dads. And so we did Dad, You're My Shining Star, and it was a patriotic themed Father's Day card with stars. So they also did that, and then we had cookies and juice boxes, and then they read a story, and we can get to that.
What was the story that you read?
So it's called Hello America, and I researched around online for a good, patriotic USA, America loving story. And on the back, it even shows join the Eagles as they explore America. And in the book, it starts with, the whole map of the USA. And then it says, let's begin our journey. And then it's the Lady Liberty over here. And then throughout the, you have, our Native American Indians, our pilgrims who cross the sea looking for freedom. And then you have our, the Liberty Bell, Philadelphia, from the great state of Pennsylvania, is in the book. And then you have our U.S. Capitol building and the White House. Now this page here, I want to show you real quick, was super popular with the kids, because it has Mount Rushmore here. So we went through each president that is on Mount Rushmore, and I plugged in that George Washington has wooden teeth, and the kids got the biggest kick out of that. They thought it was so funny. I also told them that Theodore Roosevelt's nickname is Teddy, and they also thought that was really funny too. And then the very end, which is like my favorite part of the book, it's just very uplifting, inspiring. It talks right to the kids. It even has the word vote right here, because they are our future voters. It says, let's hit a home run, 3 cheers for our team in the great USA. You can follow your dream. America's journey will be up to you. You're part of its history and her story too. And then everybody clapped and yelled, "Go USA!" And the parents were, they had these little, "I love USA" little, like, I don't know what you call them, props.
Like a wall? Okay.
And they were just running around with these. I posted a lot of videos so you can see how much fun they were having. And so yeah, I mean, the parents said, wow, that went really well, because honestly, afterwards, I stood up and looked at everybody. I'm like, so what do you think? And they were like, that was fantastic. So the kids loved it. It was the perfect amount of time for the story to keep them engaged. And what I would love more than anything is for this to catch on like wildfire. And, there's nothing negative at this event. There's no agenda being pushed. It's for anyone and everyone. If you're an independent, if you're a Democrat, and you see this at your library, you are welcome to bring your kids and just have them be read a nice story. And the most important thing that I want people to know is that we just want kids to be kids. They were running around playing, eating cookies, and hanging out with their parents, and meeting each other, and that's what was most important.
So, do you have future story times planned?
We do.
Patriotic story time?
We do. In July, we have one already booked with the Crafton Committee. The chair, Marlene, has been wonderful to work with, and she actually did get us into the library, but there was we could only have 10 people, so there was a limitation. So instead, we're doing it at a pavilion. So this is going to be something different. And also, if we run into an obstacle where we can't get into a library, again, think outside the box of some other place that you would have one. And I'll read you the address real quick. It's at the Brogel Shelter at Crafton Park at 117 West Steuben Street, and you can RSVP to accrwomen@gmail.com or Marlene Chioda, Marlene LENECHIODA8 at gmail.com. So if you're in the Crafton area, not only you can RSVP to Marlene, but you can also sign up to be a part of their committee as well.
Local Republican committees could reach out to you and try to schedule one. Maybe a
Yes.
library, fire hall, whatever space
Yeah.
they have.
Yeah, and actually, I was saying, I actually have a kit. So I have a cute little teepee tent. If you look on our Facebook page, I have not posted pictures yet. I will today of pictures. So I have the tent with the pillows, so the kids gather around the tent, hold a pillow, sit there and wait for the story. I have the book, and I have the crafts or the link to the crafts where you can buy whichever craft you like. And so I have like a little story hour kit, and I will be there to assist you. And you don't necessarily need me to always be there. You can have these on your own, or I can even help you like design your own story hour. And I would love for these to just catch on and be creative with wherever you want to, host one.
If I was having one, I'd want you involved for your energy and
Oh,
enthusiasm
thanks.
for it.
As long as I still have it, right?
Yeah.
um, the weekly trunk has posted it in the so RCAC has been wonderful with promoting it in the weekly trunk. The Mount Lebanon Women Council posted on their page. We work very closely with their women's council as well, and
Hmm.
then I worked with surrounding committees who would have been interested in joining in that last event. So I am working with committees, and obviously with the RCAC on helping me promote this, and any media outlets like you guys who want to help me promote it as well.
Sweet. And what about community groups, moms groups, maybe Moms for Liberty groups, local
Absolutely.
chapters?
Oh my
So
gosh.
anybody
Well,
like that?
absolutely, and that I will reach out to them next. I mean that would be a wonderful event to have with them, and I mean that's literally who I should be talking to. But again, this was trial and error for me. This was my first Patriotic Story Hour, and I worked out all the kinks, even though there wasn't any kinks. It went perfect. So
Great. All right. Well, thank you, Erin. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
thanks, Bob. It's always wonderful to be on your show.